So this question is about the von Neumann model. It says a computer system is designed using the basic von Neumann model. Describe the role of the registers in the fetch execute cycle. So there's an anagram to remember this. Please make my computer amazing. And so the P at the start would be the program counter. MA, I remember from the make, would be the memory address register. That's MA. My would be the memory data register. Computer would be current instruction register, and amazing is the arithmetic logic unit, but we don't need that because that's not a register. So describe the role of the registers. All right, so the first one is the program counter, and that holds the address of the next instruction since it's the start of the FDE cycle. The next is the MAR, and it holds the address to fetch the data from the RAM. So it passes that data. It passes that address to the MDR, which holds the data of the address given in the MAR. And then the current instruction register is given the instruction for decoding and execution. So yeah, there will be your 5 marks there. And describe when the interrupts are detected in the FDE cycle and how the interrupts are handled. So the interrupts are basically a disruption that occurs in the FDE cycle and needs to be serviced in order to continue. They're detected at the start and the end of the FDE cycle, not in the middle. And if there are multiple interrupts, there are priorities that are ranked from the importance of the interrupts. So the priority of the interrupt is checked. You can write this down. So if the priority is checked, and if it's low, then the current process is continued, and if it's high, the type of priority is identified. And an appropriate ISR is called to handle it. An ISR is an interrupt service routine. And it's basically what manages and services the interrupt. And it also manages the priorities. And so when the ISR is finished, it checks for further interrupts of high priority. So you can expand on that and you'll get full marks. Identify one factor that can affect the performance of the computer system and state how it impacts the performance. So one factor that you could choose, there's multiple, but one factor that you could do is the clock speed. And the impact is that the clock speed is basically the speed of the process of the CPU. And basically how it's impacted is that the higher the clock speed, the more FDE cycles per second. And FDE is basically fetch, decode, execute, but over here in this question it's identified as the fetch execute cycle. So yeah, that would be your question on the von Neumann model.